Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power Season 4, Episode 1. So yeah, we are finally back. It's been a long time since we got to some She-Ra, and it's been a while actually since this season was released on Netflix, but there were other stuff I had to get finished first. And there will be a Season 5 coming, and it is going to be the final season of She-Ra. So it does have a specific end, and that means that this story is going to be wrapped up, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that we only have now 2 more seasons for us to get through in these reactions. But at the same time, I like that because it means that it's going to have a definitive end. That it's not going to just go on and on and on and eventually get bad or anything. It has a definitive end, and it's going to play to that. And I like that. And especially with how things have been going, it definitely seemed like it was going that route anyway, with Horde Prime and all. Yeah, so things I know going into this season, because it has been a bit of time and everything, and I wasn't able to avoid everything entirely. I do know about Glimmer's new look because I obviously know about her coronation. Her mother died at the end of the last volume, gave her life and everything. So it's like, I do know that Glimmer is crowned queen, and I do know that her look changes up. I also know that Catra seems to get an updated look. It's not too different, but it's definitely updated from what I've seen, because I've seen a very simple screen cap of it. But that's about it. Everything else is pretty much speculation. Because last time we had all kinds of stuff happening. We had a lot more information being revealed just on everything. On Horde Prime, on Mara, the previous She-Ra. Things are going to go down. Things are definitely going to go down. I'm still wondering if when Horde Prime eventually comes into this dimension, if he's going to be such a bad guy that even Hordak is going to end up needing to join the good side. That would be interesting to see. Because we know now that Hordak is, I think it said he was a clone, right? I think it said he was a clone of Horde Prime. Either that or I heard that somewhere. If I heard it somewhere, then it's probably either not true or someone spoiled me. I think it was said. God, it's been a while. But yeah, and Horde Prime is like, everything that Hordak has been doing has been to get Horde Prime to come through and everything. Because he wants to like get back to him. So yeah, that's interesting. It seems like he doesn't even fully care about She-Ra. It's going to be interesting to see where all of this goes, because they've definitely gotten much heavier with the story stuff. So it's going to be intense, I feel. I have a feeling that this season and the next will both be very intense. Excuse me. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I'm expecting some good things. I'm hoping for more Mermista, because we could always use more Mermista. And yeah. I will say one thing that I do speculate will happen is that with Glimmer getting coronated, she's probably going to have to take on a lot more responsibility as queen, which is going to do 2 things. One, she's not going to be prepared for it, and it's probably going to stress the hell out of her. She's probably going to have a lot of trouble with that. 2, I, unfortunately as it is, think that it's going to cause even a temporary rift between her and Adora, specifically Adora, because I think she's probably, honestly, she'll probably give Bo a position. She might give Adora a position at first too, but with the way Adora tends to be, I think it'll probably cause a temporary rift between the two, um, to where they'll disagree on how to do things, and it's going to be pretty much entirely because of Glimmer having a new perspective as queen. That's definitely what I think is going to happen. Um, I, I have obviously no proof of this, but it's like it just seems the most logical at this point. And I really hope that they do, because I think it could lead to a good story with them, and honestly, in the end, bring them closer together. Um, and obviously not even just saying that because I ship them, but I think it would be just good for their characters and the overall story of the series to do that. I also want to see more of the other princesses, the ones that are kind of like not ignored, but not given the attention they deserve. Ones like um, Perfuma, um, Spinnerella, and the God, what are all their names? I'm trying to remember everyone's name. You know who I'm talking about though, the lesser ones. Like, of course, you're always going to get Adora. You're always going to get Glimmer and Bo. You're always going to get those characters. Mermista even has a notable presence. Um, but I do want more of the other ones too, the ones who don't get that presence. Um, I think that they're important too and need to be shown more. I'm hoping to see more Mara in this. We saw her before, but I want to see more of her and want to learn more about the exact nature of what happened with her. Um, there's a lot. I want to see more of Horde Prime. I want to see like that actually really come to a head in this one. There's so much that they've built up now. And it's all been fantastic. It's been a fantastic series so far. So I'm really hoping that this continues in that route. Oh my goodness, I apologize for the yawning. I just got finished recording my reaction to Glitch Text. I guess that tired me out. I don't know. Um, but yeah. There's a lot I'm hoping for this season, so we're just going to get started and see what we've got. Um, so yeah, let's do this. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Following to the reaction black, and then, okay. Follow the link to the reaction and then come back here and resume play, because after it fades to black and fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah. A lot of this is kind of what I expected. Glimmer is coronated queen, but it wasn't easy for her. She was struggling. She was really depressed about it. She and her mother didn't always get along, but she loved her. And her sacrifice caused a lot of pain. And so through all this preparation, all she saw was everyone around her acting like this was just some big party, some big celebration. And to her, it was the complete opposite. It was admittance of her mother's death. It was more akin to a funeral. She's been purposefully avoiding recharging herself to avoid the truth of it all. And eventually it gets to be too much for her. She can't handle it. But, of course, Adora and Bo understand. They've only been acting otherwise. They've only been treating it like a party because they wanted to raise her mood. They wanted to be there for her and make it perfect for her. They understand fully how painful this is. Adora was there. Bo knew the queen really well. So it's like, yeah, they're hurting too. You don't think they're not hurting? They're trying to ignore it. And that's a really reasonable, realistic thing to do in this situation. They're trying to ignore it and trying to force happiness, some level of normalcy, because it's the only thing that they can do right now to make themselves feel better. And so they're trying to do it for Glimmer too, because they want her to feel better. They understand, they fully knew this entire time how painful this has to be for her. And so they end up working together, defeating the Guardian, well, subduing it long enough for her to use the lantern and take her full power. And the coronation goes off. Everything goes off. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think of Glimmer as queen now, rather than princess. It's weird to think of all the new responsibilities she's going to have and how that's going to affect her role in this show. It's weird. A lot of this is weird. But they'll get through it. And I still think that they're going to have a spat at some point. I still think Adora and Glimmer are going to have some rocky waters. It's not going to go all perfect here, but still, in the end, it will make their friendship stronger. Meanwhile, two notable things happened in the Fright Zone. First, Catra shows that she's really just even more so unstable than ever. She snaps at Scorpia and hammers in the idea that her plan worked, even though it very clearly didn't. She's trying to force this idea that everything went according to plan, even though everything almost was destroyed because of her. In fact, even worse, erased from existence, pretty much. She refuses to acknowledge her mistake and take responsibility for her actions, instead pinning the blame on others, such as why can't I remember names well today? I cannot remember names well at all today. Entrapta. Pinning it on others like Entrapta and whatnot. Basically to try and refuse the idea that she did anything wrong. There are people like this everywhere in the world, who refuse to own up to their own mistakes and instead just try to act like they're perfect, basically. Those kind of people annoy me, just saying. I mean, you can't grow as a person unless you own up to your mistakes. Now, I still think Catra will eventually join the side of good. I will actually be really surprised if she doesn't. But it's not quite there yet. It might happen by the end of the season. If it doesn't happen by the end of the season, I will be surprised. Especially with her now taking, kind of taking control. I definitely think it'll happen by the end of the season, but if not, it'll happen early in the final season. Either way. So yeah, now that everything's kind of been revealed out in the open and everything, Catra decides to take control. um, to where she even gets Hordak kind of in the palm of her hand by mentioning Horde Prime and mentioning how he probably won't be happy if he comes through and finds that they've failed. So yeah, they're going to be going heavy on the offensive from here on out, it seems. Um, which is going to be interesting and lead to a lot of probably a lot of action, probably a lot of intense stuff. So yeah, that could also kind of excuse me. That in itself could also kind of lead into what might cause that temporary rift between Adora and Glimmer. Um, we'll see. Um, but yeah, as I was saying in the pre-thoughts, I do want to see more of the likes of Spinnerella and Natasa and Frosta and all in this season. Like, I want to see all of the Princess Alliance kind of get their due. Because it's like, only a certain few of them have really had notable moments in this series so far. And it's almost a little disappointing. I just want to see more from all of them, you know? I want to see all of them get that kind of treatment as characters, especially Spinnerella and Natasa. They're kind of the like least focused on of any of them. And they were all kind of in this episode, but why wouldn't they be, considering it was the coronation? So that I don't really count that. Um, but yeah, it's like I definitely want to see more of them. But this is definitely kicking things off strong. So not only from the character perspective, the big heavy stuff we had to deal with Glimmer and all of that storyline, but also it continues on with the main overarching plot of Horde Prime coming and, well, Catra taking over and all of that with the Fright Zone. And yeah, I wonder if we're going to touch on Entrapta and Beast Island in this season at all, because that would be interesting as well to find out what that's all about. Oh, and Entrapta's robot Emily is still around. Scorpia is taking care of her, becoming very motherly in a way, which is great. I like that. So that's going to be interesting to see if that goes anywhere. If I had to say something I would love to see, is I would actually like to see Scorpia betray Catra. I would like to see Scorpia betray Catra with Emily, utilizing Emily in order to either escape or fight back or something. In fact, I think it would be a good idea to have everyone betray Catra. Scorpia, Hordak, everyone turns on her. To the point where she has to leave the Fright Zone, and the only one who kind of shows any semblance of kindness to her after that might be Adora, and maybe that's why she comes to the good side. That could be a good idea, at least. But I am definitely excited after this. This was a good season opener, and I hope that it continues that way. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below what you thought of Season 4, Episode 1 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.